It's a gorgeous afternoon. I'm feeling refreshed, full of energy. Today's video is a relaxing, gentle garden tour, filmed with a gardener known for his immense patience and ability to garden on an extreme budget. No, none of that's true. I've come once again to Mark's crazy Tiki garden, and in today's video, we're looking around his garden in early May, seeing what tropical style plants are out and the projects he's got planned for this year. But not just that. Today, I'm helping him plant a massive Jubaea palm and looking at some exciting new purchases. All very exciting stuff, I'm sure. But first, I need to find him. Let's go and have a look. What have you bought? Look at this.
I did kind of buy a couple of other things.
Well,
too.
how much have you spent on that, Mark? It's Bank Holiday Monday then, and the usual grey weather has certainly returned after a beautiful warm spell here in the UK. But where is Mark? Everything's looking nice out here. Just nipped inside, and Tarquin, his head butler, said that he's outside somewhere hiding away, but I haven't managed to find him just yet. Let's have a look in the greenhouse. Oh, Mark.
Oh.
Are you working hard?
Yeah, or hardly working. Yeah.
What are you doing? Just chilling out on your phone?
Just having a cup of tea.
Who's that cup from, Mark? Have you accepted bribes from a company, Mark? Is this brand sponsorship?
Never.
No.
No, I wouldn't do such a thing. I'm not so easily bought.
Well, I'm certainly getting nothing out of this channel, so it appears that you certainly are.
I love a lovely cup of tea in my new favourite mug.
Well, today's video is actually sponsored by absolutely no one, but you have got some exciting plants from Primal Plants, haven't you?
Yeah, I have, yeah. As some of you might know, I lost my Butyagris Eriuspather over the winter. It's spear pulled.
You've not completely lost it, have you? Its potential is still there, maybe?
It's knackered,
not looking good.
It's knackered enough that I'm not willing to try. So I advertised that I was looking for a replacement, possibly an Armata, and then I thought, you know what? I'm done with the Armatas, I've done with the Butyagris. Let's try something that should be hardy. Asked about a job, and someone pointed me in the direction of Mark at Primal Plants. Yeah, I might have done a buy, but it didn't just stop there.
Well, you are known for your patience and for not getting carried away, aren't you?
Patience is my middle name.
Should we have a look around here first, Matt? Let's build a bit of tension.
So in here, I had a lot of casualties over winter. Regular viewers of the channel over the last couple of years may remember I had a really beautiful, large Alcantaria imperialis here.
Spectacular bromeliad.
Yeah, that unfortunately died a death.
But look at all this greenery. Look at this lush tropical planting.
Yeah, I mean, I've replaced, and I've replaced with stuff. I'm doing my best, George, to try and replace with stuff that should live.
Oh, right, okay. I mean, to me, it looks just as exotic and tropical as it did before, possibly more so. But...
So this guy, this Aechmea, this is a replacement, as is that one there.
Yeah.
But I do have one that's lived for several years down in the far bed. So in theory, it should be happy.
Yeah.
Pups have gone and what have you. I mean, I've still got Irisine that's lived over winter.
That is pretty impressive, I've got to say.
So
it's not been the warmest of winters, has it, up here? So that's done really well.
It's done really well, considering, you know, this was not heated in winter. Now, this coming year, I am going to make a point of heating it. I've got some ideas, but I think because I don't water in winter and because it is dry in here, there's no watering, there's no misting, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try and plumb to get it to stay around 3 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm going to use like a garage space heater or something like that on
nice
a thermostat.
Yeah.
So I am actually going to make a point. But then the cordline tie, which is next to this Musa Dwarf Cavendish.
Just hiding behind here,
So this has lived. Okay, it's not 100% healthy, but that started off as a tiny, tiny plant, and it's grown really well.
Grown. Got Musa Dwarf Cavendish there, haven't we, as well? Just point that out.
So that's a new one.
Ah, right, okay.
That should hopefully do okay in here. Only grow to about 3 meters tall. In theory, should be okay. This Musella lasiacarpa, that came from Primal Plants.
Oh,
that is going to go.
A theme here, Mark.
Yeah,
you must put a big order.
That's going to go into the end bed.
Yeah,
I do have another larger one, more established one here. I'm hoping to stage them so that they flower at different times.
Yeah,
Your Thai Monstera?
Yeah, Thai Constellation.
Well. Yeah,
look at that. I'm pleased you've kept it alive.
Yeah, it's okay. I lost a lot of leaves on it, but what it has definitely grown.
Don't worry, Mark, I'm not hurt and offended.
No,
it wasn't
I
like it was
know.
a special plant
I
given
know.
to a dear friend or
I know.
anything.
It's thrown out more leaves. This papaya,
Yeah.
it actually died, and I had a twig,
Oh.
and I was desperately upset about it. And it's resprouted from the side. It wasn't below freezing because it's double glazed.
Double glazed, you got
it
this nice
got
brick
cold.
walls. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, it got cold.
So we're looking at the survivors, aren't we? The ones
We
that
are
have
looking at
come
survivors.
through.
The begonias are new. Older ones that defoliated that, again, didn't have patience for. There's a theme here.
Yeah.
They've been replaced. The Spanish moss hasn't gone outside yet. This kangaroo fern has gone absolutely potty.
This is one that always seems to be taken over,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's up here. It's up here. It's found its way into an old pot that I now don't take down. It's gone everywhere, and I
Wow.
wouldn't mind. It's
Some
vicious.
might say that this plant has found an area that...
Still haven't got the t-shirt,
I know, no, we're
Oh,
right.
man.
We're both absolutely useless.
but I
busy
do
people.
have a Primal Plants t-shirt. No, I don't.
Mark,
I don't.
Mark,
I don't.
shameless.
I don't. So yeah, everything's looking really happy. It took, really quite a minimal amount of tidying up this year, which I'm very happy about.
Tied up by yourself or by Jeeves and the rest of the team?
Now, Jeeves helped. He did the tip runs.
Oh,
I
obviously,
did the grunt work because I'm the, I'm the
I'll believe you.
designer,
The curator. Curator is definitely the word you've mentioned in the past, yeah.
philanthropist.
Oh, yes. Just
so-
all around, good guy.
Yeah, the Alocasia macrorhizas that were massive last year, they've died back.
Yeah, they
they
don't
went
look
all
especially
mushy.
healthy, do they?
No, but some good old sulfur powder on the tops, dried it up. And there is, if you come and have a little look-see here, George, my friend, there is some buds there.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. no, look, this one, even though it looks so
they
unhappy,
do come lower down,
there
don't
is
they?
green there.
Oh, well, that's something.
And
at least.
last year it sprouted from the base. And there's green there too.
And let's be honest, we are filming this in early May, so there is plenty of time to come.
I have to say, for how early it is in the growing season, I'm really
The garden
happy.
is looking really
Yeah.
good. So I think on that note, Mark, before we look at those exciting new plants, I think we need to have a quick scout around your garden, see where things are looking now. The first week of May.
Yeah.
I should probably mention that when I put a post on Facebook and Instagram saying that I was going to be coming around, someone asked if we could coincide this visit and video with
hold
World
on,
Naked
hold
Gardening Day.
Look.
Sorry, I've just walked right past this, haven't I?
Look how beautiful.
That does look... Yeah, I was just trying to make a cheap joke at your expense, Mark, and instead I've been... Well, just
at the
completely
flipping
walked
size of
past this. It is looking marvellous, isn't it? Look at the size of it.
If you were to go back and overlay from your very, very first video, 2022, 23,
I'll be honest, I probably don't have the time for
it
that.
was
but,
like,
yeah.
oh, mate, you do
Tiddler.
have the time for
Can
it.
you
Come
just
on.
pretend to be it, just to give an impression?
It was like proper mini. It was
Proper
like
mini.
really small.
Yeah.
But it's like, these things grow quick. They really grow quick.
No, that is
They size
fantastic.
up. I probably have kind of gone for it too quickly.
Well,
My hanging baskets are out, including...
you've literally got it all out with your tenders already?
Yeah, I've got a big brugmansia out behind you.
Wow, I didn't even notice that.
This is kind of like going for it already. I've got all my end sets out. I haven't got a lot of summer bedding out yet because I'm trying to reduce the amount of summer bedding.
Oh, after all the success you had last year?
Yeah. So this is throwing out new rollers. This has survived quite happily.
Nice
This
one.
has got great big leaves on it. This
So
is quite happy
Just,
as well.
just make it clear, those were overwintered in your greenhouse and they've
They
come
were,
outside
yes,
again
no,
this
they
past
were,
week.
yeah, absolutely. But dry soil, no water. And again, these are Heniba. So this is Heniba down that you're currently filming now.
Yeah.
And this big boy here is a Montbéliardi. So they are the ones that I personally find the most tolerant of our winters and overwintering.
Yeah.
I don't even bother with Morellii anymore.
Oh, wow.
The two that I had last year perished in the second winter, and I cannot be bothered with them anymore.
Fair enough, that's
Here
a choice.
is Beauty Agris.
Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah, it has got, sorry ladies, put some over music for this, George, but I've got my finger in lovely and deep there, and there's absolutely nothing.
I was expecting worse than that, Matt.
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah.
it's not looking great, is it? And
No.
I've got to say, mine is actually looking a little bit ropey as well, but I am persisting with it, seeing as I'm not a man with unlimited reserves of cash on
Well,
hand.
that could be going to a new home somewhere.
Wow. Maybe home in the greenhouse to really, have a chance at recovery.
Or in someone else's greenhouse if they're willing to come and get it and try and save it.
We will see, we will
Yeah.
see. But on to sort of happier things, and I mean, look at your lawn, look at this.
I am very proud of my lawn.
Yeah, have you done that yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I even
pretend
cut
to
it
believe you.
myself. I enjoy cutting it. It gets weeded, feeded, and moss killed every single year. And every single year I resent it because I have to mow the thing 3 times a week.
But it looks beautiful, doesn't it?
It drives me insane the amount I have to mow it. But it is pretty good, again, for this time of the year. I am very keen to say that I have emptied, cleaned, and widened my ring for your visit, George.
That's a phrase that I didn't really want to hear.
It's a bit rusty.
It certainly is a bit rusty.
It's a bit dirty, but my ring, nevertheless, is empty for you.
I mean, I'm obviously going to have to leave these bits in the video, but what's happening here, Mark? Let's tell people the purpose of this video.
Yeah.
Why have you dragged me here, Mark?
I've dragged you here because you are a ginormous human being, and I need you to help me lift my new plant purchase.
Well, we are planting a monstrous Jubaea right in this hole here. And you've already prepared it, haven't you, with your own bare hands?
My own bare hands, and my father-in-law, who I roped in to help me.
Kelvin will be heading over very soon, won't he, to give us a hand? And
yes, you will be introduced to my father-in-law's dulcet tones, viewers. He helped me out with this. It was a mammoth task even to empty it, but I've decided that I've lost a Armata in here and I've lost a Beauty Agris. Probably not the best choices of palms anyway, but at the same time, I've decided to completely start fresh. So we're having a mixture of topsoil, compost, and we're having a mixture of perlite. So 50, 25, 25 around the Jubaea. It's getting a completely fresh start, the best of everything I possibly can give it. And if it dies, then I think I'll probably just give up. I'll probably just level the whole place.
Just plant some, herbs in there or something.
I'll just take a bulldozer to it and take up tiddlywinks.
Okay. You're going as far as that.
I honestly, I'm really quite close to it.
Some may say that you could have potentially listened to a wise and learned friend who might have suggested Jubaeas early on in your tropical gardening journey. But you've gone down your own route, and it's a destination, isn't it, rather than the journey? That's not the phrase, is it?
It's upsetting to me that you rub salt in wounds.
Well,
expensive wounds.
I'm sure you might have done it once or twice before. Looking at the Scheffler over there. And
speaking of clean rings, have you seen how clean my ball is?
Just look at that. I mean, obviously there's one petal there,
so
come on, you've lost a point alone. For that, Mark. But other than that, that is
beautiful, clean ball,
isn't it?
Yeah, she's lovely. She's got a bit of muck around the outside of her, but ultimately, again, lovely clean balls for the time of year.
Yes, I mean, obviously this video might contain more than one or two of your,
I pride myself on clean
jokes
balls.
and
really
clean
do.
balls. And like I was starting to mention earlier, we were requested to film this video on World Naked Gardening Day, and we decided not to, didn't we?
Yeah, I was busy yesterday. Your viewers will be very happy to know that I was unable to accommodate. And you were really quite pushy about seeing me naked.
Well,
George.
Anything for the views, Mark. You know what it's
like.
Really,
really like overly pushy. And I said, no, George, I'm cleaning my ring out for you. That should be enough.
It should be enough, Mark. It's more than anyone can ask for, isn't it? Really?
I agree.
But, so any nudity in this video will be, entirely accidental. Wow, this has grown, hasn't it?
That was probably 2 foot tall when it first went in a few years ago.
Wow.
It's really gone for it. The Beauty next to it has really gone for it as well. That's actually rocketing away really healthily and happily.
It does look a very healthy green colour.
This Aeoniums, by the way, once you've planted it once, you never need to plant it again. I cannot get rid of the stuff.
It's a lovely plant, isn't it?
I've got a cardoon here as well that I can't get rid of for the life of me. My Canna Stuttgart is coming through.
Everything's just ahead of mine.
I've got no other Canna Stuttgart, but it goes for it.
These palms are all looking very healthy, I've got to say.
Yeah, they are looking quite healthy. This is my original Jubaea. Back when I did listen to you, and I just got the one. I'm hoping that this big beast that we've got that you'll see very shortly. I've been assured that when they're small, they take a long time to size up, but I've also been assured that when they're as big as you'll see, they get going pretty quickly.
Well,
this is my Armata that's happy, and there's also another Armata behind you that's very happy.
So this is what we're going for with the Jubaea, isn't it? Nice and raised up in one of these circular rings, as you keep mentioning.
Exactly, yeah. So that
good drainage, plenty of sun.
It was explained to me that because it had been lifted quite high up, the roots haven't got anything to kind of go into. So this is my attempt to level it up a little bit so that the roots have got something to cling to. Tree dandelion coming out as well.
Yeah.
I'd never bring it in. Every single year, it just stays out and it comes back every year. Amicia zygomeris there as well. I've also got the Calopanix
popping up.
Yeah, the Calopanix septembulosus. That got cut down to the ground, but that's coming back.
Oh, and there is one plant that I think on that subject, Mark, we need to have a look at.
Come and have a look.
We are going to go to Sunk Island in the very near future.
Only if they give me a mug.
Only if they give you a mug. We're just having to sort of work it in between my work and your croquet tournaments. And
do you need me to get in there, or are you happy to zoom in?
I think we can see it from here, Mark.
Look
the
how
walking
fabulous
stick
she is.
Alive.
She lives.
Oh, that is really good to see. So the brassiopsis there was hacked back. Well, we'll say it was cut back professionally, cleanly, and compassionately.
No, it was.
No.
Considering I'm a surgeon, it was a shocking.
Do you really call yourself a surgeon, Mark?
I do. It depends on the company.
I think you hacked that back in a frenzy of rage, Mark. And,
yeah.
Oh my, what are you doing, Mark? Are you just going for it? Wow. Somehow it's come back, which is fantastic to see.
Yeah, and it's come back triumphantly.
What are these?
These are
Mahonias.
charity,
Oh,
and they were supposed to go in and around this area.
Dry shade, perfect for them, yeah?
Yeah, and I can't flip and dig the ground because the tree ferns have caused such a thick mat.
Oh.
So here is one for your viewers, and here is one that I genuinely need help with.
Is this where you ask about plants to dry shade?
No.
Okay, good, because you've asked that about 3 different
done that,
videos.
bought it all.
Yeah.
This is where I'm considering actually
Mark,
taking the shade away.
I know what you're asking now.
My next door neighbour who owns the pub has highlighted to me that the sycamore seedlings are a problem.
Yes.
And the sycamore trees drip sap on all of his customers' cars.
We've got sycamore, we've got a lime, we've got hollies, beautiful hollies there, lovely evergreen touches, and loads of really tall sycamores up there, adding a beautiful native planted backdrop to your lush, stunning exotic planting. What are you thinking then, Mark?
Thinking about cutting them all down.
Oh, right.
Thinking about cutting them all down.
All of them?
Well, this is what I need help with. I think I might keep this one here because it's kind of providing cover to the tree fern. So maybe this corner, but everything that kind of looms over the palm trees and perhaps holds them back, potentially.
Are we just thinking about the ones that are sort of this side then? Is that basically what we're thinking about?
I think so, but I mean, if you come back out here, George.
We will, and we should say on balance, you will be planting a lot more trees in your land project, which we will be revisiting very soon.
Look at the size of that eucalyptus. That has been in the ground for 4 years.
Yes.
And it was a 5 foot tall pole.
I know, I've got a couple of the same, haven't I? Mine are rocketing up now.
So I'm semi-considering taking down some of the trees and then just simply replacing them with eucalyptus and letting them grow and go for it, but keeping the shade where it's needed over the tree ferns.
You're literally ripping out all these beautiful, glorious, wildlife-supported native plants and chucking in a load of exotics purely for your own aesthetic enjoyment.
That's about the extent of it, yeah.
Yeah. Well, our BBC series won't be starting anytime soon, will it?
No.
No.
No, that's about the extent of it. But I'd be interested in everyone's thoughts. I mean, mostly my thought processes and my question probably would be, George, you could probably answer this, but I'm not interested in your opinion as
No. I appreciate and understand that, Mark, in the time I've known you.
I have Jub.
Oh, look, beautiful blackbird there.
Yeah.
Probably nested in one of these glorious native trees up there. Now it's just come down to enjoy some time in your beautiful garden.
Just to mock me.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Jubaea, parajubs.
Trackies at the back.
Would these thrive better without the overhead cover?
My gut feeling is here, I mean, in your garden, your sun comes basically round here, doesn't it?
Yes.
So they're already getting most of the sun until, we'll say, early afternoon.
Yes.
So there's only really this end sycamore tree that's actually affecting the sun they get before it gets to sort of late afternoon, evening time anyway.
So what you're saying is that I should take your advice?
My actual advice was basically to get a tree surgeon, potentially the one, my good friend who I sent you the number of, and just get him to basically tidy up some of these long branches leaning over here. With a little bit of careful cutting, you can get a lot more sun whilst actually leaving the plants, or the actual trees in place. That was my thinking, because I know they actually give a lot of shade. This is something that I've faced in my garden, but these trees do actually help dry the ground out. So for a lot of these exotic palms, potentially that is a plus point. Potentially.
See, it's sound, well thought out, rational advice like that
we just don't need in this series, do we?
Don't need you, mate.
No.
It's not what I signed up for.
No. I mean, on the face of it, okay, I would usually say any large tree, at the back of the garden, a backdrop is a beautiful backdrop, regardless of the style of plants you want in your garden. But if the pub's also got a problem with them, maybe it's something you need to discuss together, isn't it?
He does have a problem with them, but equally, if they're generally more beneficial to me than they're not, then they'll stay.
I wouldn't cut them down. I think I can see a couple of really sort of strong branches just leading off that way. So there's one there, these ones here. I'd maybe have a little tidy up of them. And the other thing is, Mark, they screen that building really nicely, don't they?
Yeah, and undoubtedly they will provide some degree of sound protection.
And yeah, I mean,
and obviously they're a habitat for animals, so
and all that. But you know, you were a vet just for the money, weren't you?
Well, clearly. I mean, come on.
Yeah, look at all this.
Yeah.
No, I mean, yeah, it's probably a good point about the noise because obviously they reduce the noise from the pub over there, not giving too many details.
Yeah, you give me some food for thought. I mean, you have cut away the ability now for your viewers to take part. Because you've provided lots of rational sound.
No, they can still chip in below, but I just like to give a.
It's nice of you to give your viewers the opportunity to chip in. That's good of you.
Just provide a voice of basic compassion and empathy, really.
I don't like basic compassion and empathy and reason, George.
No, we don't need that. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know,
you're only here because I need your sheer grit and size to help fill my ring.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think I've hurt my back a little bit this morning lifting that perlite, so I might be a little. Nah, thought I'd get that already, as Steve suggested. But I mean, at the end of the day, those big trees, look at that, another robin there saying, please don't chop my home down.
That's Kevin. He frequently follows me around the garden trying to dig up worms and stuff. Can you see my paths? Did I show you my paths?
I think we had a brief look at them last time.
Yeah, they're new. They're new. Again, father-in-law job.
And you can tell it's a proper job.
It is a proper job. It's a better job than I could do, which is, well, I mean, that's not hard, but still.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't have a third microphone for Kelvin, but it would be nice for people to really meet, the brains and the muscle behind your garden, wouldn't it?
To be fair, you could probably just listen to him instead.
I'll give him your mic.
Overwintered bananas. Look,
yes.
Here, see, yeah. I'm going to say 50% success with the towel bags over the top.
50% is a good ratio, isn't it, really?
I mean, compared to year on year, so these ones got chopped down, these ones for the most part got chopped down, this one needs a blue pill. But for the most part, come on, I'll hold it back.
Oh dear, we're not having this joke again, Mark.
Well, no,
okay, you're being ouchie.
I'm being chivalrous.
Got me right in the face.
But yeah, as discussed previously, I'm 7 feet.
You are 7.5 feet, yeah.
And she's starting off pretty tall this year.
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
I mean, it's growing in your hand as he's doing that. Yeah,
sorry. That was subconscious. But yeah, it's doing really well. And I'm overall, I think it was a success. I think I'm converted to protecting my Musa.
Well, I think, on that bombshell, a bit of genuine take-home practical advice. If you've got banana plants, you live in the north of England, you may be expecting a slightly colder than mild winter. It is worth giving them a little bit of protection, isn't it?
Yeah, and just for the record, the level of protection that these got was some straw around the base and a clothesline Era bag from Amazon over the top.
There we go. Simple as that.
I didn't mess around with it too much.
No, I mean, in my garden, the ones that I just put fleece bags over, they got cut back. And the ones that I went the effort of putting the straw, the full enclosure around them, they all survived. So
yeah.
For me, it was worth the effort. But although you're 10, 15 minutes down the road, your garden is some kind of beautiful microclimate that, helped by these lovely
probably helped by the trees,
yeah.
I have kind of been thinking about that.
Yes. Your loquats are looking good, by the way, as we go past them.
Yeah,
I think, especially the ones up there.
There's a lot of loquats. I would say that they're a fabulous plant and I love the leaves, but my God, do they drop their leaves so quickly. It's like my main hobby at the moment is picking up flipping loquat leaves. Look at them all. They're everywhere.
I thought nature was your overwinterer, Mark.
Yeah, but they're just not very convenient for dropping in crowns.
Nature's not very convenient, is it, for you at the minute?
So here's some more,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's good.
Is this Marshall's Woodstone or something like that?
Oh, I can't remember. I think so. Sounds about right.
He's got a name, I think, a brand name, but until they're willing to send me a free mug, I'm not going to mention them.
My Magnolia Ashii has died.
Oh.
Yeah, here we go.
That's not good, is it?
Thanks, Jenny and Roger. That one's dead.
Oh dear, oh dear.
That was their advice, by the way, not their plant. But the Abutilon White job.
Yeah, that's come through.
Yeah, that wasn't taken in. That's lived quite happily. Paulonia, forgot to cut that one back, but that's going for it. Probably should have cut it back to around here to let it go and have bigger leaves. I have done that with other ones.
I
but
will
I
just
didn't
stop
do
you
it
1
with
minute,
this
Mark.
one.
There's a plant here, an exotic plant that basically no one talks about, which is it Fatsia lizii?
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
Fatsia. I can never remember how to pronounce it. A cross between Fatsia and ivy. A little bit of a sprawling climber. It's a very handy plant, isn't it, for sort of shadier spots, especially if you've got a fence or something you just wanted to just, you know, clamber up a little bit.
So this is a good example of a plant that I bought because, as you'll probably have gathered by now, I just like to collect plants.
Yes.
So I bought it and put it in the ground and thought, that'll do. And then it's grown and grown and grown, and now I actually have provided it something to grow up. And it's happier now it has something to grow up, but I'm still not quite sure it's its spiritual home.
One little tip for these, when I grew some at our old house...
I love a tip, George.
I'll leave that there. At our old house, I grew one of these, and one year I might have given it a heavy dose of feeding, a very heavy dose, the same kind of feed that I give to my tropical style summer plants, and the leaves on it grew massive, like bigger than Fatsia leaves. It looked really cool. So
this is
not responsible, but definitely something worth trying.
So although I've spent a small fortune on some plants that we're going to go and look at now, I am struggling to find the enthusiasm to spend 25 quid on a bag of 20 kilograms of chicken pellets.
It's worth the money, isn't it?
I think you're right, but bloody hell, it's
the problem is you need tons.
When did they get? I need about 6 bags minimally.
Yeah.
Like the banana bed takes a bag and a half, and I just don't feel great about shoving 30 quid on the floor. But anyway,
I know where you're coming from, Mark, but you know, a little bit of care, a little bit of attention, sometimes it can make all the difference, can't it?
I know.
But anyway, you know, there's enough talking. I'm getting a little bit nervous as we walk past the banana bed that, you know, the homoeroticism in this video will reach new and uncharted levels. We don't need that, do we?
No, don't touch my pseudo stem.
No.
Here are some Bengal tiger chilensis, again from my friend at Primal Plants.
Really?
Yeah.
There's definitely a theme coming in.
The Colocasia bed.
How much did he send you for free, Mark?
Nothing.
Nothing. You paid
nothing.
Okay, good money, good money. Yeah, we'll believe that.
The Colocasia bed.
Yes.
Everything's overwintered.
This is this section here where you've had it covered over with those sort of little, you know, polytunnels or hoop houses, as our American friends call them.
The mammoth has lived.
Yeah.
There's another mammoth here that's lived.
I mean, a mammoth's probably being generous, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not mammoth currently. And then these are some Eucomis polybantii that are coming through. Can't remember the name of it.
Omiana ice storm.
There you go.
There we go.
So that's kind of thinking about it.
Yes. So these were inspired by Tony's Tropical Plants.
That's
Give him a follow on Facebook. He grows some immense big leaves in his garden, doesn't he? And sells plants as well.
And in fairness, his advice was to leave them in the ground, cover them with a little cloche type thing and straw, and
it's worked.
The man was right.
So there we go. Tony knows his stuff.
Yeah.
Check out his page.
And
I can say that, Mark, without even getting a free mug, you see. I'm just a pure gardening soul.
I reckon he'll send you a mug for that plug.
Well, Tony, if you're watching this, 2 mugs and a t-shirt, please.
Mug for a plug.
There we go.
Plant purchases 1, 2 and 3.
Wow.
Agave titanota. Aloe polyphylla.
Oh.
Agave montana.
So you were quite, again, aggressively messaging me, wanting to buy my aloe, weren't you?
Yeah,
offering to, like, you know, just here's £2 George, can I take it off your hands? And I said no.
Aggressive wasn't the word. It was borderline violence.
Okay, it was, yeah, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But I've decided to keep mine. And some people might see my video questioning whether I was going to plant mine out or not. I think I've reached a decision. But to find that decision out, you'll have to watch a future video.
Oh, here we go. Yes. Here we go.
Oh, yes, Mark.
What a pro.
What a tease.
What a pro.
But what are you doing with this one, Mark?
I don't know if I have the heart to plant it out.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. So
you have got a heart deep down there
the bigger picture to this, if I take you over here, and I have to show you the next purchase, which, by the way, is ridiculous. And from what I know, he has one left.
Oh, right. What have you bought? Look at this.
These are as rare as hen's teeth.
You are not joking.
This is a Xanthorrhoea grass tree, imported from Australia in very, very, very limited numbers. They are pretty flipping hard to come by. When I found out he had one, I had to have it. I know that he has another one. I don't know whether he has any more from there.
Plants like this, these are like real like connoisseurs plants, aren't they? These are like, you know, I bought all the non-tropical plants. I've still got a stack of money left over. You know, what's even rarer?
I've wanted one for a while. I saw it, couldn't pass up the opportunity, did a buy.
They are seriously beautiful things. to me, they combine that sort of like Yucca Lyrian sort of exoticness, but then they've got these real fine leaves, aren't they? They're just such a striking
When you see
plant.
them actually fully grown and how this should grow, because it's going to go into the arid bed, it has the winter protection over the top. There's no reason it shouldn't get to 2.5 meters. And here's the problem with the aloe and with this.
Yes.
I was so lazy when I did this originally,
Right.
that I had the option. There is a footing and foundation to a dwarf wall in here.
Oh, right, okay.
Rather than renting a jackhammer and doing 2 days of extra work, I didn't rent the jackhammer and I didn't do the 2 days of extra work.
Oh, dear.
So I don't know whether I have the depth currently to be able to sink that pot.
As in there's a solid base to some of this bed, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so which
So
might impede drainage.
the plants need to come out, which is why perhaps the plants that are in here have never done particularly well. The yuccas have done fantastically.
With the little sound effect, the
Yeah.
massive, isn't it?
It is pretty tall, and that's grown, like, it used to be down here. It's now so big that we have to build a separate cover for it over the top.
Well, first world problems, man.
Yeah, I know. The Agave of Atifolias come through happily. The Ice Hearts come through happily. This has come through happily.
It's probably a bit of a stretch.
Okay,
a
fine.
lot better than mine, Mark, I'll be honest with you again.
They've come through, is all I'll say. This Montana is really unhappy,
Yeah.
but this Ovatifolia is happy. So my thought process is, these, which are 2 a penny, will come out. These are going to go into my bed round the corner. And I think what I'm going to do is try and jackhammer this all out. And
You're obviously going to leave the big yucca flipfrost
yes,
in.
I think I'm going to take this out.
Yeah.
I'm going to see how much room there is underneath. And I think the grass tree theoretically can live there.
I've got to say, I mean, that is going to look pride of place there. Well, spectacular.
As you walk through here,
yeah,
it's pretty much going to be one of the first things that you see when you walk in the garden.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's going to be covered by the winter protection.
Yeah, I've got to say, it is almost a good place for it, Mark. Almost.
Nearly.
And as I move around that corner, you've got a tantalising glimpse of your next purchase. But before we have a look at that, Mark, I've got to say, if you want to see plants like this really growing in the element here in the UK, Tremania, one of the gardens I went to for my 30th birthday, plants like this growing on the hillside, the Cornish coast, it is one of the most spectacular gardens you'll ever see.
Isn't that where Mark from Primal Plants had his old nursery?
Okay, Mark, you just have to, wedge that in again, don't you? Mark actually used to be part of, or he used to own Surreal Succulents, who are based just outside of Tremania, and I got a few really spectacular and colourful succulents off them there. Genuinely top quality plants, I'll say, without even getting a free mug. But, plants like this, when you see them in the garden at Tremania, they are just next level amazing.
Yeah.
There's some huge palms there, and maybe even bigger than the one that we might see in a minute.
Well, I think the one thing that I would say is this, as well as what you're about to see, the quality of... Yeah. It's insane.
Jokes aside, I'll be very happy with the plants that you've received. They are truly beautiful, healthy.
Coming up.
Let's build this one up no more.
Just
look at this.
Look at it.
Wow, that is it's a pretty chunky palm, isn't it, Mark?
It's a beast.
You must be pleased with that.
I'm over the moon with it. Yeah. So considering it was there were options. There was an option to go and dig one up. There was an option to drive down south and pick one up.
Yeah.
And then the opportunity presented itself to get this.
Wow.
And again, I think if someone was in the market for one of this size, I do believe there are more available, but you'd have to bully him into it.
Right.
This was intended for his garden.
Yeah.
And his loss is very much my gain.
Well, yeah, definitely. Certainly. I mean, it is a stunning palm.
It's an absolute beast. And I'm very pleased that I emptied my ring for it. I'm very pleased that I made the decision, and again, this might not be very in the spirit of the tropical gardening ethos, but rather than giving the Beauty Agris years to potentially recover, I've decided to put in something which has had a winter in the UK, minimally one, possibly two, can't remember. Yeah. It survived a winter okay in Cornwall, but at this size, unless we have a beast from the east, this should be absolutely fine here.
I've got to say, I would concur with that. Even in my garden, up there, in the freezing tundra of the North Lincolnshire wolds.
The tundra of 8 miles away.
The tundra of 8 miles away. But it really does make a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Jubaea is one of the palms that I haven't bothered protecting. It's simply come through, unmarked, looking beautiful, which, you know, you really take some kind of comfort in that, don't you? Particularly when you dropped a lot of money.
I think this could potentially be as big as your ones, maybe.
I think, I'll be honest with you, Mark, it's bigger than both my pure Jubaeas.
You reckon?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. But the Djibouti that I've got is probably a good like third, maybe half again.
Oh, you see, I'm quite surprised by that, because I mean, I was at yours the other week picking some pots up, and I genuinely thought that yours were bigger than this.
Oh no, the two that I've got in the ground, they're definitely smaller. You know,
right.
I realised that, you know, we're not arguing this the right way around, are we really? You know, I should be saying that mine are well bigger, but this truly is a beautiful palm. And, you know, as much as I can talk about practical advice, you know, how to garden on a budget, something like this, if you are going to spend the money, this is the feather palm to go for, isn't it? As simple as that.
I looked at Armatas to replace what I'd lost.
Yeah.
And they were really expensive. And I just kind of thought, to go for something that looks the part, that's a decent size, that I'm not going to have to wait for because I am famously impatient, go for it.
There we go. And at the end of the day, you've tried Brahia in that spot there, haven't you?
I got 3 Armatas at the same time, back when prices were reasonable. 2 of them are quite happy and 1 of them died a death. And my OCD says that it needs to be 3. And do you know what? In the end, I just thought, let's go for it.
I'm pleased you did, Mark. And
so am I.
Let's just show people a sense that this is a very sizable pot. Do you know what size pot it is?
It's 150 litres.
Big tall palm, probably about 30 foot in your measurements, isn't it? But realistically, in the pot, we're probably talking maybe 9 foot tall. This is going to be an imposing centrepiece. And if you don't mind me asking, Mark, roughly how much do you pay for something like this?
It was 1,300.
1,300. So, you know, there are people watching this who can afford to spend that kind of money on plants if they miss out on a holiday or something like that, or, you know, take out the kids' saving funds. If you're going to spend big money on a plant, for me, a Jubaea, it's got to be one of the choices, hasn't it?
The difficulty that I faced in this scenario was that other than a quite small one at 325, there weren't any other options. The palm tree company actually advertised one smaller than this for $3,000.
Yeah, I saw those, yeah. Lovely palms, but $3,000 is...
Beautiful plant, yeah, beautiful, but I'm not spending that.
No, I get that completely. $3,000 crosses a line which, you know, I'm not prepared to do, even if I had that kind of money laying around.
I mean, okay, if I won the Euro Millions, then I'd have 3, you know, but ultimately...
And another shout out I think we need to give, Ed Croft, who has some spectacular palms on the south coast. And real beautiful small jubs, hasn't he?
Ed is the chap who actually had one for sale, which was my next alternative, but I do have a jub that's probably similar size to what Ed has to offer, and in my opinion it's maybe not doing quite so well because of the overhead cover. You disagree, but I don't know whether it's
I know where you're coming from, yeah. It's not performing as it would in a full sun spot.
It takes a while to kind of get going. Never one to, you know, kind of not go for it and go OTT. Jubaea, Xanthorrhoea grass tree, Aloe polyphylla, Titanota, Montana. I did kind of buy a couple of other things too.
Well, let's go that way, Mark. And show us them.
Yeah.
We're heading deep into Wifeland.
We are heading to Wifeland.
Obviously,
indeed.
I'm not going to focus on these Gunnera, which to me would be a DEFRA prohibited purchase. These didn't come from Primal Plants, did they?
They did not. No. So
I'm presuming that label isn't accurate either.
No, it's definitely not. Thank
goodness for that.
I can guarantee you, I didn't pay that for anything that it came out of.
These look like, you know, the same Gunnera as mine. They're not offsets of mine because I'm, you know, too tight to give you any.
Yes.
Again.
Unfortunately, but these, I've decided to give Gunnera another go.
Okay.
At some point, I need to dig. So when I put the Gunneras in, I sunk fish ponds in. So old fish ponds. I sunk them into the ground and didn't add any drainage holes.
Right, okay.
Then the compost has gone in.
Which is what people do recommend, don't they? Plant them in a bog type environment.
Yeah, but I planted them in a bog with 0 drainage.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at how Gunnera live naturally, they have free-flowing water. They're up on a bank, and the roots reach for the water, as opposed to being in stagnant water.
I mean, I've personally not travelled through the canals of Brazil like you possibly have, but...
you mean you've never been to Chile?
No, I'm you know, remarkably, you know, a homeboy.
We overwinter there.
Do you really? I've got to be careful what I say because literally my last video was my holiday video from Portugal. I had a great time, thanks for asking. But these Gunnera, one thing that I will say is if you plant them in something where you've got that, you know, polythene underneath, the soil can become anaerobic, can't it?
Yeah.
Which means potentially your root system can't get through it as well. That's another factor. So you actually end up kind of straining the plant, don't you? And it maybe doesn't help to actually keep the moisture in as much as you'd like.
Yeah, so unfortunately, one job that I am going to have to do at some point is get in there,
dig it out properly.
dig it all out, take the ponds out, replace, and then sink these bad boys back in. So
yeah,
again, not one to do things by halves, but I've got some fairly decent sized specimens here. There's great big leaves emerging.
No, they are the real deal. The genuine sort of, we'll say manicata stroke, cryptica cross.
These came from a chap in Doncaster.
So we won't be too specific about his details, but if you want to go on the Facebook buy and sell, you might find some people who are willing to overlook current restrictions and maybe sell some Gunnera on.
We cannot recommend or advise.
No.
But one of the things that really appealed to me about them is that they are growing very well for someone just down the road.
Yes.
So if you were in the market for a Gunnera, I would probably suggest you go on Facebook local buy and sell and see if you can find one that's in your area growing well, and potentially see if they have anything.
And buy it from someone who knows what it is, because if there's one thing that we can all agree on, it's that you shouldn't be buying tinctoria. You shouldn't. No, that's a little bit irresponsible potentially.
A clean rusty ring is essential.
I think we've had that joke 2 or 3 times too many already in this video, Mark, but thanks again.
Anyway, uncharted territory into Wifeland. Here we go.
Wow.
These haven't quite made it onto the succulent bed yet.
This is your collection of succulents, isn't it? The ones that you've had previously?
Yes.
Wow, you've done well in overwintering these, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've had some casualties, obviously. Probably, I would hazard a guess to say potentially 5% loss.
5% loss, which for you is about 30 plants, isn't it? So not too bad.
Yeah.
They all look very healthy.
Yeah, they're not too bad. Overwintered in here, unheated greenhouse. Probably the thing I lost the most of is the Aeoniums, which is very fortunate that they are what I got from Primal.
There's definitely a strong theme running through this video.
Yeah, I probably went a bit OTT here.
Well, I mean, like we said earlier, top quality plants. Look at these. Look at all the colours you've gone for, Mark. There's Echeverias here. There's an Aloe, or what used to be Aloe. I think it's Arid Aloe now, isn't it? Wow.
Look at the state of these.
Those are amazing. Look at the colours. And
they're absolute beauties.
And we're literally in the first week of May.
Yeah.
So if they look like this now, what are they going to look like at the end of summer?
So in theory, this is Echeveria cross Agaves.
Yeah, ebony, is
Probably
it that
not said that properly. But
that's
theory,
ebony, isn't it? That one used to be a really big money plant. I bought a very small one for about 30 quid.
I'm reassured that this is hardy in the UK. Potentially.
Wow. Okay. Well, you are going to be rolling the dice, taking one for a lot of us, aren't
I
you?
am, because I want to see whether... Okay, they'll probably live in Cornwall. Will they live in North Lincolnshire?
Yeah. Well,
let's find out.
That's the question. I know part of Mark's ethos is growing exciting plants for a changing climate, isn't it?
That's right.
I'm sort of casually slipping into marketing speak as well, but essentially the plants that we enjoy growing, these visually exciting, cool-looking plants that complement tropicals and exotics very well,
yeah,
potentially some of the plants we might all be able to enjoy as the climate gets increasingly drier and warmer.
I mean, these Echeveria elegans, they are completely hardy.
In fact, that's something I will just show people out here. I was genuinely, I think I actually said a wow, an unsolicited wow when I saw these. Wow. These plants here, good impression, Mark. These actually grew in that ring, didn't they? Around where we're going to be planting the Jubaea.
These grew in my ring. Those
grew in your ring, yes. And just covered over for winter, were they?
Covered for winter with a upturned clear pot. So
they look amazing.
All of these survived in that raised ring. They are Agave bracteosa, the squid agave.
Of course they are, Mark.
And then these are Echeveria elegans. And I actually cut.
I might actually go for some of these in my garden, because I want some of those, the alien-like plants that look like they come out of Avatar, but plants I can just simply cover and leave over winter.
Well, these are all the offsets that are just callousing over now.
Wow, perfect for, someone else to grow in the garden. No, sorry. You need to plant more of them, Mark. They enjoy it here.
Anything for a price, George.
I'm sorry, Mark, I don't have a mug to give you.
Yeah, anything for a price. I mean, you're a big mug anyway, but... So, I love these plants. I think they just look like they're from another world.
Yeah.
They almost look cartoon-like to me. It just doesn't look like they should live here.
That's exactly the kind of what really appeals to me. It's that sort of like ridiculous, you know, are they artificial? When I went to, again, Portugal, just to reference the video again.
Did you go to Portugal, George?
I think I did go to Portugal, Mark. First abroad holiday in 20 years, Mark, so I've got to mention it for at least 20 videos.
Don't believe that. Yeah. I've seen you on more European holidays than that.
Nah, don't stick in Europe, Mark. No, so I mean, some of these plants in the front gardens, I describe them as almost looking like an underseascape. Like, you know, they're just like coral. Beautiful seaweed. And it's just really completely over the top, alien-like colours. They're phenomenal plants, and I want to have more in my fibre area, budget and time allowing.
Yeah, well, these sedums obviously are completely hardy, so they're going to be absolutely fine outside. These, you know, the Aeoniums, what have you, they're obviously tender. They're going to have to come in, and I'm going to get some pots for them to go into. So that's one of this week's jobs when I get round to it, is potting, you know, kind of getting all these guys in pots.
And I suppose we should actually focus on, have you got any Semponiums, which I know were one of Mark's main sort of brainchild? Did you go for any?
I don't
Maybe
know
even some of these are Semponium. I know that there was basically a cross between Sempervivum or Sempervivum and Aeoniums.
There you go.
Which...
So this Semponian Sienna,
Yeah.
I know that this was the first one that he came up with, because I think Sienna is his daughter's name, he was telling me.
Lovely colour.
Yeah, beautiful. Really nice, really cool.
So in theory, these are a perfect exotic plant for those of us that like this kind of arid style, colourful look, but we have colder winters.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I'd like everyone who's watching this video to comment, have you planted these Semponians yet? Have you got them through winter? And if you have you done anything to actually achieve that? I'd be intrigued to know.
More importantly, where in the country are you?
Well, sorry, that is the crucial thing, thing. Because I want to believe that these plants are really a beautiful choice, a hardy, reliable choice for all our gardeners going forwards. I just want a few more people to back it up and tell me.
Yeah, and I think I need to speak to Mark properly, because never one to make purchases without truly knowing the hardiness. But
you ordered all this on a whim, basically, but yes.
Yeah.
He's the guinea pig for a lot of us.
I need to speak to him and find out which of these plants. I mean, the sedums I know, very handily, if I can find one. There you go.
So you can see on the side of each pot there, it does give you an idea of the hardiness. So this sedum Dark Magic, -10. So something like that, you get that lovely flusher colour, very reliably hardy for most of us in the majority of the UK.
Yeah, so that they should be absolutely fine. I know that his website isn't kind of up to speed yet, but you can. I got to this whole point just through messaging him.
Yeah.
So
give him a follow on Instagram, see what interesting plants he's got. You'll see some cool plant pictures, and you might be inspired to take a plunge and buy something yourself.
The quality of these for this time of year is mad. So I'm very, very happy. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do this year. This greenhouse is usually the greenhouse that I overwinter these kind of more tender things in.
This is the infamous greenhouse where the Ensetti accident happened. Your roof blew off, didn't it? And you lost about 30 of them. Yes. Yeah. But, we've moved on from that. A good friend wouldn't remind you about that every time he comes
a good friend wouldn't, which is why I got you
precisely, yes.
I'm thinking about bubble wrapping this year, and again, trying to keep some sort of heat within it. But it's just, it's so hard to do. It's really hard to buy all these plants, and then you spend the money on them, you get everything, and then you have to literally pay money to heat the cold air.
Yeah.
It's a hard one to do. I did buy some plants, I have to say, from Easthoff Echeverias. So there's an Echevera place. They are on eBay, I know, but there's a lady called Tracy. So I bought a couple of these.
And she's just the other side of Scunthorpe, isn't she?
That's right.
Local to us, with the national collection of Echeverias.
I know, just literally down the road. So I bought some of these guys from her. This Sedum swalabensis.
Might have to take a visit.
Yeah, and it's brilliant plants, really good.
Are you going to be risking these ones outside then, Mark?
So she had them heated to 3 degrees. She was trying them at 5 degrees, everything lived. Mm-hmm. She had a huge heating bill, something like £1,500
I can imagine, for commercial
But she's got a ginormous greenhouse.
Yeah.
So she had £1,500 for a month of heating. She dropped it by 2 degrees to 3 degrees.
Yeah.
She lost 2 plants.
Wow. And it probably halves your bill.
Out of like 5,000 or 6,000, and her bill dropped to £600.
Yeah, I was going to say it'd be
so
substantial.
It was only 2 degree drop. She only had like a tiny drop off in plant loss.
That's interesting to know. So that you're basically, with your real tropical greenhouse we're going to first thing, you're doing the opposite, aren't you? You've gone from a point of losing a lot of plants. How much can you just prop it up by to keep a lot more alive, basically?
Yeah, and I think I'm probably going to try it with this greenhouse as well, because again, most of the overwintering gets done in here. These staghorn baskets, they are going to go out, but they need to go out somewhere where they're going to be shaded. So they're probably going to go in the...
harden them off first as well, obviously.
Yeah, they're going to go in the run down to wife land, I'd imagine.
I think we've had enough of this sort of gentle garden tour, haven't we? People have seen your garden now. They can see that there's areas of beauty that we haven't even touched on. But today, you know, that's not our focus, is it? Today we need to do some hard graft and get that job in the ground.
Oh, man.
This is going to be tricky, isn't it? Is Kelvin on his way?
He should be, yeah. I hope he is, because I can't lift it. I mean, that's why you're here.
Oh, great. I thought I was going to be filming it, Mark.
No, you are very, very much the muscle. Right.
On that note, Mark, I think we need to get the job brought round and ready to go in the ground. That is your infamous rusty ring, Mark, where the Jubaea is going.
Yeah.
This is a perfectly manicured lawn that we don't want to disrupt too much. This is obviously the pathway here. I've asked the question about taking the ring out of the ground, so we have to lift the job over it, but apparently it's sunk into quite a depth, isn't it? So
yeah,
not an option.
It's sunk in 15 to 20 centimetres, so we are unfortunately going to have to do a 3-man deadlift.
3-man deadlift?
I won't be able to do a lot of lifting with my back, so I mean...
Oh, yeah, it's already started.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of plans that I would really put this kind of effort, you know, in towards, but if you're going to do it, a Jubaea is the palm, isn't it?
That's the way to do it, and it's the plant to do it for, and I'm not looking forward to it. I've got the ice packs at the ready. Paracetamol is on
to cool your champagne down while you're sat by watching us?
to cool my flipping back down.
Oh dear.
This is going to be graft. I reckon that's got to be 250 kilos.
Oh, at the very least, Mark, at the very least.
Minimally.
Well, you know, it's a big boy. Jubaea chilensis, a Chilean wine palm. Luckily, it's a chilly day today.
You're talking about the wine palm. You said the big boy?
It is a big boy, Mark. Well.
I've been called worse, George. I've been called worse, George.
I'm just going to leave that there, Mark. As I was neatly signing off, Chilean wine palm. It's a chilly day today. You've already started with the wine in and you're palming off the heavy lifting onto me.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
How long have you been thinking about that for?
I'll be honest, Mark, I just thought of it while I was walking around the banana thing, just trying to blank out most of your mundane innuendo.
Is that why you've been talking rubbish for the last half hour? Because you've been trying to remember that pun?
Mark, I'm just filming and going, Matt. Filming and going.
Of course you are.
So let's just head round the front and just really see what we've got to move in the next 10 minutes before Kelvin turns up to save the day.
Well, I've inflated my tyres.
That's always good. All the rest of the planting, we'll come back in summer at some point, have a look at that.
Oh, unfortunately, I don't think I can get rid of you. You're my go-to video. Let's go and see him. Let's go and see a good garden in North Lincolnshire.
Do you know what? I didn't realise just how friendly, you know, how amazing, how funny Shane Bilson was. All the amazing other gardens I visited until I come back to you again, Matt.
Bit too far away though, isn't he?
He is, but you know,
far.
That effort is looking increasingly worthwhile. I mean, it's a beautiful palm. And again, looking at the size of it, the pot's probably about 800 mil across, is it? Somewhere around there?
It's 52 centimetres tall, minimally 70 centimetres wide.
Try lift. Okay, I'm not lifting that with one hand, I'll be honest with you, Mark.
No.
Well, not my left arm anyway.
Well, you're doing all right, because I can't lift it with two. So it's a very rough plan. I've got some, here you go, got some compost, topsoil, perlite. Mixture that I was recommended was 50% topsoil, 25% compost, 25% perlite. You've got some perlite there, I've got some perlite, I've got a couple of extra bags. And listen, I did some GCSE maths.
Right.
I did some maths.
Oh, sorry, you're actually proud of that by yourself?
I genuinely did some maths.
You took out a calculator?
No.
You usually leave that to your accountant, don't you?
No, I plugged it, I mean, thankfully I've got a good one. But I plugged it in, so it's a 1400 mil ring, 350 mil tall, with a volume of 540 litres, and this is 150 litres, which has left me with a 400 litre deficit.
Okay,
so we've got 200 litres of topsoil, 100 litres of compost, and 100 litres of perlite. Who knew that maths would come in handy?
That is truly impressive, Mark. Truly impressive.
Who knew?
I would have just looked at it and gone, that's about half a bulk bag, so I need about 400 or 500 litres.
Yeah, see, unfortunately it's bank holiday, and I didn't realise I needed a bulk bag until yesterday. Oh,
so you've had to take, 17 trips with the Lambo to get all the soil that you need?
Yeah, the Lambo isn't good at carrying compost, I have to say. So
no.
I do not have a Lamborghini.
No.
I don't have a Lamborghini.
I'm not going to pan around the show.
If you getting in and out of a Lamborghini, don't show them the Porsche. No.
But you can't make jokes like that, can you?
The very rough plan is this is going to go all around here. This is going to, and then I've got some sheeting that's going to go around there. and this is going to protect your arms when you're lifting it.
Oh, that's very considerate. When I'm lifting it. Yeah, not when one is lifting it.
No, not when I'm lifting it. But I reckon between the three of us, we'll be able to get it up, get it lifted, and then we've got an angle grinder to cut the pot off. I mean, I'd like to be able to save the pot, but you know what? You got to pick your battles, haven't you?
Yeah. I've got to say, with my large Jubaea, slightly larger than this.
Slightly.
Just ever so slightly.
Yeah,
but you know, even the smallest bit larger is still larger, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just literally rolled it into place, cut the pot off again, and mounded up with soil around it. So definitely chopping the pot.
You didn't leave
easier.
the base on though.
No, I just slid it out. Yeah, sorry, I cut it off first. But what I'm getting at is, I had that the easy way because I just moved the soil around it. We have to lift this over your rusty steel ring.
Oh, honestly, the amount of grief you've given me about my rusty ring, George.
Right, well, that's the last time it's going to get mentioned, Mark. Let's get on and plant the job.
As per instructions, it has got 100 ml thick base of compost.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a nice bed, good environment, loads of nutrients, nice, easy, friable material for the roots to bury themselves into really quickly.
Fantastic. In that case then, let's get the job into position.
Oh God. 1, 2, 3.
One more.
That looks very
1,
heavy.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
There we go. Right, let's just keep it going round there, nice and slow. Can you just watch the leaves, Matt? Make sure I'm not bashing. Thank you.
This is not very heavy for me.
Just good it's not heavy for you.
Is it heavy for you?
So, what we'll do first is obviously get the truck out.
Yeah.
So if I just
Can
push...
you get on that side, Kelvin?
Yeah. In fact, if I just...
Go with it.
Oh, sorry.
Leaning it.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, Mark, I thought you were doing the easy bit. Right, so then... So this is going to be heavy, but... So what I think we're going to do, who feels the strongest out of you two?
Honestly, I'd say you go in here.
I mean, I'm happy straddling both, lifting it over, but who out of you is going to give the initial lift on that side? Or do you both want to get over that side?
Are we going up onto the rim and then across?
I don't think we... Well,
I think it's just trying to literally throw it in.
I think we're going to go straight in, go for it.
So, should I come on
Do you
this
both
side?
want to go that side?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking...
Let's try and spread ourselves as evenly as possible. I'll go this side.
You sit in the deck chair over there.
1, 2, 3, lift.
Yeah.
Just rest it on that rim, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right, do you guys want to get in fully now?
We can get fully in the ring.
Okay, ready? And
Hold on, wait.
You want yours?
process?
Yeah, I'm just fine.
Okay, Mark?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, lift. And that's it, and down.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh my God.
It's massive, isn't it?
Well, I have to say,
Yeah, I was a little bit greedy at first, but other than that, that went quite to plan, didn't it?
that went very, very smoothly.
Yeah, we didn't even say to me to you.
No,
So it could have
oh,
been better
damn.
still, couldn't it?
Right, you're going to get your angle grinder?
It's going to need a lot of soil, isn't it?
Did you look for Tommy's angle grinder, the battery life?
No.
Other than my little stumble, that was about perfect, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it could have gone any better, that. To be
So,
honest
do
with you.
you want to have a quick look and imagine what it's going to look like from outside from your windows? Just make sure you're happy 100%.
Well, the main angle.
is getting it upright, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's maybe a good job for Bertie once we get the pot chopped off. You stand here and try to get it so it's straight.
The main viewpoint, mate, is here, and it's smack in the middle.
Yeah. Awesome.
But it obviously wants to be in the centre of the ring,
Yeah.
and until the pot's off and
Yeah,
we've got it all
there's no
leveled
point
up, it's
worrying
hard to
too
say.
much. Just remember, if you see your dad using one of these, always supervise him.
Yeah, you have to make
Can't be
sure Daddy
trusted.
gets it right. Grandad gets it
Oh, Grandad
right.
knows what he's doing, but... Look at those. Oh, yeah, those dainty little footsteps.
I'm known for it, you see.
Yeah, well, from your Thai massage years.
Thankfully, I was on the receiving end than the giving end.
Well, it's not what I've heard. Job done then. Mark, where have you gone? Mark? Oh, Mark. Look at the state of this. Completely destroyed. A husk of a man, but still here with his Primal Plants mug. Trooper to the end. They must have paid you a lot of money, Mark.
Oh.
Well, come on, get up, Mark. I've got to say, that was an awesome team effort. Massive thanks to Kelvin, obviously.
What do you mean team effort? I did most
me and
of
Kelvin.
it. My back has carried the weight of this team. Oh my gosh. Right.
Whatever, Mark, whatever. Got no dirt in your hands whatsoever.
That's because I wore gloves for once.
Well, yeah, to be fair.
My God.
We all did.
That is at least 7 metres tall.
7 metres.
It's at least half a ton.
Oh, the pot was half a ton,
And I
wasn't
managed it single-handedly, but look how bloody good it looks.
That does look awesome, doesn't it?
It's just like, honestly, now I see this, everything that it's like, why would you have a dying Beauty Agris Aries paper
I'm with
in
you
there?
there. Yeah. Why didn't you just
Honestly.
do this in the first place, Mark?
Why didn't I buy 3 of them?
Well, you know, for the money you've spent, I think that, you know, it just brings so much to your garden,
I mean,
doesn't
look,
it?
let's be real here. This is not everyone's dropping that sort of cash on a palm tree.
No.
I get it. I totally 100% get it. But I think, as we've said, it was 1,300 quid. You find another one of these for that sort of money.
This kind of quality,
It's a quality palm. It's a lot of money, but it's an absolute belter of a palm tree.
It is indeed.
I am thrilled with it. I think that it was money well spent.
Definitely.
And just an idea, I mean, okay, everything's bedding in, it's had a water. This level will drop. There's going to be some decorative gravel go on top. Maybe a wee bit of membrane if I feel flush. Might as well spend another £5, eh? But this is where the Agaves are going to go. This is where the Echeverias is going to go. And I might do what I've done previously, which is stick some Campanula or Aubrietia on the side that
just do a
tumbles
pop of
over.
colour. Yeah. That
And
looks
do you
beautiful.
know what? I don't think I could be much happy with that.
Well, that is the end result, isn't it? It does look amazing. And yeah, I know we sort of reference the money side of things. I know there's a lot of people who are literally on a complete budget, particularly these days. I know my budget is significantly lower thanks to having a child and also, you know, the cost of everything these days. But if you are going to spend the money, something like this or a big old olive tree, you know, those are the purchases that for me have made my garden feel like the garden that it is. And I think this will do the same for yours, won't it? A real centerpiece.
I mean, I need to have a sit down now that my father-in-law and George have filled my rusty ring, but like, what a way to fill it.
What a way to fill it, Mark. You've got such a way with words as ever. So I think what we need to do, Mark, is just have a quick look at this from a different angle. So
come and see it from the perspective of wife land.
So in fact, let's hide the view a little bit. So let's pretend that I'm Catherine. We won't go with that too literally.
You've got to be angry.
How much have you spent on that, Mark?
Yeah, there you go. That was, honestly...
I should say that wasn't her voice.
That was so accurate.
And then we're walking down here, we're coming in, and oh, what's this here? Look at that.
Triumphant palm.
Triumphant's a word, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that is a beauty. And again, from the house, when we're looking out here, when you have all your fancy guests around, your lords and ladies, they're going to look out and go, wow, what is that mighty beast there?
Fancy guest, not your type of...
oh, no, not me, rabble like me.
Rabble, yeah.
That is positioned beautifully. And now, look, even the sun has come out just to say, I'm happy with this. I am going to help this one grow, even if there's some big trees in the way.
The sun's come from behind the overpowering native trees.
Yes.
Need a crown lift minimally.
That does look beautiful, Mark.
It does, and I'm well happy with it. I'm amazed at how well it went in. I'm amazed at how good it looks, and yeah, I'm thrilled with it. I really am.
Other than a little stumble by myself as I was trying to lift it over a little bit too quickly, I think that went in. You know, we could lift it between the three of us, and then using the perlite, the compost and the topsoil around it, it's finished off so well. And you did quite liberally sprinkle some of the hardy palms fertilizer, didn't you? The slow release.
This is, I mean, I don't know where it's gone now.
Put it away in the
it's a fairly old tub. I am notoriously bad at fertilizing stuff. I'm not even going to go there.
No, I could see what you were thinking.
Yeah.
You've got two beautiful children.
I've got an OnlyFans account, but anyway.
We won't go there.
Yeah, so I mean, it's had a really liberal dressing of the slow release fertilizer from hardy palms. It's obviously had the kind of like a layering almost of perlite, compost, topsoil. That was the recommendation of Mark, by the way. 50% topsoil, 25% compost, 25% perlite.
Beautiful.
And it worked out as a 400 litres that we needed. And yeah, I've had a stand around, stood around the ring. I've got my feet right in there and given it a tamp down. Really got my foot in the ring.
Yeah, there's little feet pitter-pattering away. It's really sort of brought it down nicely. So it is a lovely sort of layered lasagna of nice rootable substrate, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I've tried to give her the best.
Her?
Yeah.
Are you decided on the sex already, have you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lovely jubbly.
Lovely jubbly.
What do we call her?
Well, I think that's a question for the comments, Mark, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there you go. You already answered the question I asked for the comments, so maybe we'll give, what are we calling Jubaea?
What do we call it? To be honest, I think as a palm, it exerts a very masculine energy. You know, it's very angular, very sort of in your face, isn't it? It's not dainty like a boutia, but...
No.
Well, we'll leave that one open for interpretation and suggestions. But I think, Mark, before we wrap up this video, we need to go off for some icing and a deep tissue massage from your team of trained butlers. Let's have a quick look in the corner over there at the plants that you hacked back.
Yeah, she's kind of... I mean,
you're walking like a broken man.
I am fairly broken. The 2 slip discs don't help.
Well, yeah, I suppose we should have mentioned that for a little bit of sympathy earlier, shouldn't we?
We'll get the violins out quick.
Not from me, obviously, but the odd viewer might have some kind of feeling for you.
Can I just mention?
You can.
No fronds coming. There are fronds there.
I've got fronds coming through on mine, Mark.
There are knuckles there. But look at this one. It's less than 2 metres away.
And yeah.
Literally less than 2 metres away. You can't make head and the tail of it. But anyway.
Yeah, they do their own thing, don't they?
Come on in. Come on in. I'll hold me. Yeah. I'll hold me. Yeah.
I'm coming through, Mark. Wow, right in my face again. Almost like you did it on purpose. Hey, look at that. It's come back, hasn't it? It has come back.
She's come back.
Impressive.
And then this one's come back.
So Metapanax, this one here, that's growing away. Xanthorrhoea
chilensis.
is you know, just thriving against all odds here.
Yeah.
You know, it's got the North Lincolnshire climate. It's got you hacking it back indiscriminately.
I mean, look, my greenhouse is 4 meters tall, and that is at the top.
There we go.
Look at her.
Look at that beauty.
She's triumphant.
I think that's genuinely one of my favourite plants in your garden. That
Yeah,
is.
I think it.
So beautiful.
It's now my second favourite.
Well,
no,
yeah.
third. Jub's up there. Xanthorrhoea's up there. This was the. I mean, look at this. Thank God it's at the back. Look at the state of this.
Oh dear, Mark.
This was my very, very first tree fern purchase back in the day when it was 25, 30 quid. I think I got this from Coletta and Tyson probably in 2018, 2019. Cost me 150 quid for a 5-footer, £30 a foot. But then you look at this one that completely nearly defoliated last year. It's got some decent sized ones coming out. But
I think you're facing the same problem as me, which is the root competition from the trees.
yeah.
You know, it genuinely is a big thing, and it dries the soil out
But
so
again,
much.
famously, I don't put any fertiliser on these, so
No.
maybe I do need to.
A bit more
this
TLC.
Gunnera as well, but this was the
Which
offset
Gunnera,
from
Mark?
you.
I can't see one.
Yeah, I know.
I can't see a Gunnera
Well,
around
this
here.
is going to be an area where there is going to be some Gunnera.
Oh, this little thing
But
here.
I cleared a little
yeah,
bit.
how cute.
I cleared some stuff away from the base of it, and it
Yeah.
seems to be happier from that.
Oh,
Here
I see.
is, you can see how I do my thing. All of the old fronds are left on. Now,
Yeah.
this went in, I'm going to say 5 years ago, and you can see how I've left them on. So
Yeah.
if you think these things don't grow,
Oh, they certainly do.
they do.
When they're happy.
They
When they're
really
in
do.
a good spot.
And this has got a lot.
Nope.
Yeah, no. This has got loads of stuff coming through. And then this is probably my most pristine one over here.
It is
I have to
indeed.
say.
Never tire of seeing this one.
Yeah, she's a beauty. So
There we
you've
go.
got 3 years of old fronds on there. 3 years of old fronds.
Beautiful.
Last year's fronds, and then you'll have to take my word for it. She's full of knuckles.
She is full of knuckles,
Yeah, there's at least 2 knuckles deep in there.
which is more than enough for anyone, isn't it, Mark?
I couldn't agree more.
Well, I've got to say, Mark, I've enjoyed myself. And
Well, I've enjoyed you being here as well, because
I'm
you
sure
did
you
most
have.
of the lifting.
now, let's be honest, Kelvin did that basically by himself, didn't he? And we just stood around giggling and making
But it was
childish jokes.
useful to have an actual grown-up here.
I think that made all the difference, didn't it? And
Yeah.
just look how good that looks. What a centerpiece, Mark. What a beauty.
I'm pinching myself, to be honest, George. I'm nearly willing the brahias to die so I can get 2
Whoa,
more.
whoa. Don't say that, Matt. Don't say that.
Oh, I'm tempting fate, aren't I, probably?
So, to wrap up this video, which is by now, I think, about 2 days long. You're really in a bad way, aren't you? I should show more sympathy, but, you know, I'm not going to break character now. And I genuinely, you know, don't really feel
Do you mean
for you.
break criers? you don't care.
No, Mark, I think your garden is really coming together, and considering we're looking at early May, you know, the season is stretching out ahead of us, isn't it?
I think that is the important thing to take note of. It is literally the 6th of May. We
Yeah.
have got, what, 4 or 5 months of potential growing ahead here?
Oh, yes.
This jub is, for anyone who knows anything about these feather palms, they take a long time to get going. It is going to probably stay this size, throwing out a couple of leaves for 2-3 years.
Yeah, I think a few years is probably a safe bet,
And then,
yeah.
in theory, a few years' time, it should absolutely romp away.
We'll see, Matt.
I'm not thinking it's going to be a 10 metre trunk, but you can hope, can't you?
We can always hope. And just to end on things then, as those blackbirds munch up the pests in your Musa basjoo pile there, what plans have you got for your garden over the next few weeks? We will visit, or when I say we, I will visit later in the season, but are you going to do anything different this year when it comes to summer planting? Or are you very much going to just leave the plants you've got in the ground and see what happens?
I've kind of decided, and I've said to myself, I'm afraid to say that I'm going to try and go without the summer bedding.
The bedding hole.
Costs so much and gives so little. I'm going to have some choice coleus, a few of them. I'm going to have the Phytolacca, whatever.
Lacca boom.
That's the one.
Yeah,
They're
I like that.
awesome. That's going to be
American
going in.
pokeweed, isn't it?
And the Brugmansias are yet to go out and what have you. But I'm going to try and, because, let's face it, I've had a fairly expensive month so far.
Yes.
I'm going to try and do it with what I've got for the most part. There will be some purchases, but most years I go kind of I go a bit mad on things like osteospermum,
Yeah,
coleus.
the bedding.
Yeah, and do you know what? I don't see the benefit of it. The osteospermums, I don't feel like they add a real significant enough amount to justify the £4 each that they cost.
I know where you're coming from.
And the thing is, you can't just buy one. You have to buy 10 or 20 of them. Do I want to spend 40, 80 quid on osteospermums? No. Probably not. And last year, I probably couldn't see a photo where the osteospermums, like going back to your original garden, back when you introduced me to this habit, thank you very much, about 6-7 years ago when I came round to your house, you were selling the miscanthus. You had the coleus Kong all along the front of the border.
China Rose, I think it was, yeah.
In your old house. And it just looked awesome. And that really got me on it, and that hooked me on it.
And now look at this.
I have got you to blame. But, I mean, over here as example, this would be an area traditionally that I would have packed full of coleus. Well, hopefully
you won't need it.
It's going to have Colocasia spilling everywhere. I've also done my annual Edo buying from the Asian supermarket. So anyone knows, buy the Edos this time of year, stick them in a bag with a literally breath.
Thank you for that demonstration.
Seal the bag, stick it in the sun, and then in theory should grow roots.
Yeah.
And I think I've got 20 bulbs for a £5.
And often those small bulbs can produce bigger leaves than, we'll say, large bulbs that you might buy from certain large suppliers of dry goods. Yes.
That rhymes with Harmer Macy.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I certainly will try. I mean, last year, this run down to Wifeland was full of begonias and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just really going to try and do without it. So I've got the spotty dotties, rheums, astilboids. I've got some begonia. Can't remember the name of it, but it's coming through. And I'm just really trying to do with the perennials and letting them flourish this year and kind of see what comes out of the wash.
Well, I can't say I blame you. So I guess what's next, Mark? I think we'll be having a trip to Sunk Island, won't we, at some point over the next month to see how well your cuttings are doing.
Oh,
we've heard rumours.
About those.
Oh yes, well, I certainly hadn't, Mark, and I'm sure Dave will have many sleepless nights, won't he, trying to get them up to size. But we'll have a trip over there, see how things are, and then we've got to come back later in the summer to see just how magnificent, colourful and spectacular your tropical paradise looks.
I suppose I better let you back since you helped me today.
Thank you, Mark. That's very kind and considerate of you as always. So we'll bring this video to an end, Mark. Thank you very much for inviting me round to put in some hard labour and plant up your already magnificent garden. Thank you to Kelvin for really bringing a touch of supervision and real muscle to the occasion. And also thank you to Mark at Primal Plants for not only supplying you with these amazing top quality plants, but also the advice on how to get them in the ground and give them a long, happy life. So thank you, Mark, and we'll see you soon.
Just adding a note, George, I'm not paying you like we discussed earlier.
What?
Yeah, no, not happening.
That's the only reason I came, Mark.
No.
Right, I'm putting the camera apart. We'll discuss this afterwards.